Welcome on this very exciting episode of Living It Up. And today's episode is called Being Maggie Kigozi. I can't wait for you guys to watch it because the person that I'm hosting tonight, you have known her for so many other things like business, you've known her for being a doctor, you've known her for being a mother. But today you are gonna get to know her better. You are going to go to know the other direction or the other part of Professor Maggie Kigozi. She's so much, and I'm sure you are going to be transformed. Well, that is our core reason every day why we come here on Living It Up, to inspire you, motivate you, and transform your lives as we talk about the things that affect us in our day-to-day lives. And I'm sure you are going to get to know what you didn't know about Professor Maggie Kigozi. I can't wait to host her, and of course join with me in the studios. She's already in the studios of Spirit TV, and of course we are going to get transformed. Welcome, you are watching Living It Up, and of course I am Nema Diana. I hope you have gotten to know who Professor Maggie Kigozi is. Well, she's in the building, just like I promised you, and she's here to tell us, inspire us, motivate us, tell her story to the world such that people can get to relate with her life and all the things that she has been through in her life. We are streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube. Don't forget to call a friend and to tell a friend to go share, comment, and like. We are here with Professor Maggie Kigozi. You're most welcome.
Thank you, Diana. I'm happy to be here.
I'm glad to have you.
Thank you.
Professor Maggie Kigozi here is a mother, a grandma, a farmer, a farmer. She's so much. She's a businesswoman. She has done so many things, and we are here to learn from her today, from her life.
Thank you.
Where should we start from?
I don't know. I have a long life, so it's very difficult to go over 70 years.
I know, 70 years.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Who is Professor Maggie Kigozi outside business, outside the limelight, your personal life? How would you summarize it?
Okay, I am the daughter of George William Bleak. Ended up in Masaka, but otherwise lived in so many parts of the country. And he was an engineer. My mother was a fashion designer. At that time, we used to call them tailors. But now when I think back, she's make beautiful clothes.
You wonder you're already perfect in your attires.
Not really. So that was my mom. I have 4 brothers, no sisters. So I grew up pure among boys. But since I did get married, I lost my husband early, and he left me with 3 children. By training, I'm a doctor. Yes, but when my husband passed, I moved away and took over what he was doing, which was business. I went into business. And since then, I have done many other things.
Wow.
Yes.
You know, you've summarized your life in just a minute. That is hard to do. Yes. When you speak about coming from a family where you only have brothers,
yes,
that defines you for being, a hustler, for being strong, even when you lose a husband.
Yes.
How many children do you have, Maggie?
I have 3 children. All of you know only one.
I know. And amongst your siblings, all of us know only you.
No. You know a lot of my siblings. I come from the Bleak family.
Oh, yes.
Motorcycle racing, motocross. We've been champions. My 2 brothers, Paddy and Arthur Bleak, were motorcycle champions. Yeah. I did race as well. I was the ladies champion many years ago. So you do know them, and then we haven't dropped out. The next generation, Arthur Bleak Jr., they've been champions also. And now we have the little ones, the grandchildren also in the same
The
area.
sport runs into the family.
Yes, we are a sporting family. That's true.
Wow. I mean, before we came on air, I was asking her, what haven't you done, Professor? Because, into more, sport, into business, into parenting. I mean, what haven't you done, for sure?
I told you I haven't done bungee jumping.
Apart from that.
But I will not do it anyway. That's one I will not do. I'm sure there are many things I haven't done. Next week I'm going to learn more about beekeeping.
Okay.
I will start keeping bees. I have started already. I'm looking to what else I can do with the bees. I also want to learn Swahili.
Wow.
So, we are East Africa.
How many other languages do you speak?
No. I did some French, but I haven't been able to use it at all. So that one has gone. Basically, it's Luganda. And actually, most Ugandan languages I understand. I understand if it's those very similar, like Lusoga, Ikunyanko, those. But even the north, because I was at Gayaza High School, and we had people from all these places. So I remember in my room in Senior 4, I had a Musoga, I had another Muganda like me, I had an Acholi, Florence, I had Joy from Barara. And, so in that way we knew all the languages. You could hear and speak them. So most of the Ugandan languages I can understand. I also understand Swahili, but mainly the medical. Because I am a doctor and I lived in Kenya and worked as a doctor for about 6 years. Okay. But I know the symptoms. I know the symptoms. I don't know the Swahili. I would love to hear our only woman president in East Africa when she makes her speeches. Yeah. I don't understand. So now I'm going to learn Swahili.
I'm sure you're going
online.
to learn. I'm sure you're going to learn it because there's nothing that you've tried and you haven't been successful at it. Well, Professor, now I'll skip all this and take you to your husband.
Yes.
You had 3 children, you said?
Yes.
Before the passing of your husband, were you actively involved in business like you are right now?
No.
Or like you have been? After?
No, not at all, actually.
How was life then?
I was a medical doctor. I was able to work. When I graduated here, I did internship in Mulago. My husband had to leave the country during Amin's time. He had problems at the brewery where he used to work. So he got a job in Zambia. So I went to Zambia. Luckily at that time, if you have a degree from Makerere, jobs are... Yes. Omulimu is not a problem. So I just climbed the stairs to the Ministry of Health and left with a job. With the Makerere University degree. Same thing, we came back a little bit. He came back a little bit during Lule's time. These politics of those days. Yeah. You people are too young. You were not there.
You need to take us through all of that.
So he came back during Lule's time, but Lule stayed on very little, and Botetu came on. Then he had to leave again. So he came back we now went to Nairobi. And we stayed there until 86. I was a doctor, and we came back here in 1986 with the present government. But I was able to work. I was running the clinic at Parliament. I would treat the MPs, the ministers, the secretary, everybody, the drivers, everybody in Parliament and around Parliament and State House. Yeah. So that's what I was doing when my husband passed away. No business, absolutely not. I knew nothing. But I found myself, when he passed away, having to take over from what he was doing. So he was running Pepsi Cola in Uganda. At that time, it was called Crown Bottlers Limited. And not alone, we have 2 partners. He had 2 partners, we still 3 of us. And the others were in Kenya. So I was the only one local. I needed to be there. So I left my medical profession
So you
and went
started
into business.
learning all of the business, all of the everything about business at that time after the
Yes.
passing of your husband.
Yes, yes. I
How was
wish, and that's maybe since you wanted people to learn
Yes, we need
from
to learn,
me.
especially women.
Yes.
Yes.
And men as well. If one of you has a business, please pay attention. I must admit I was not paying attention. I was busy. I'm a doctor. I have children. I'm
You
a
have your own
sportswoman as
passions.
well. Yes, I want to go play tennis, play squash. So in that way, I never paid much attention to what was happening at Pepsi. So when he passed, I was really at zero. But you can learn. That's the beauty of, at least you have a basic education as a medical doctor, is that you can learn. So I learned, and yeah, I'm here.
And that's very important what a
Yes.
professor has talked about. You're into the family and, you're all rich, or you're, acquiring all these riches, and, the woman is completely blue or green about the husband's businesses. And not until he passes on, and, that is when you wake up and you're like, okay,
Oh my God.
where do I even start from?
Yeah.
It's very important.
It is. It's very, very important that, first of all, even for the owner of the business, if it's the man, to also include madam in shares, So we are used to, Mukasa and sons, so and so and sons, never and wife and daughters. But we encourage, the present day businessman or even businesswoman to give shares to your family so that it becomes a family business.
Yes.
And therefore it is sustainable. Now, often when the owner passes, the business simply collapses, it dies. They sell off things and share, and end of the business.
They cannot sustain it.
They cannot, whereas if they had paid attention. And nowadays it's not only the men, the women as well. They have big businesses. Are you involving your husband? Does he know? And that is important.
It's very important. What were some of the challenges, personal challenges in the family? And then remember, these are all different fields in your life that are lacking. The head is gone. And now you have the children, you have the family, you have your personal life, you have the in-laws, you have your family. I mean, what were some of the challenges?
The biggest challenge, and why I didn't have, like family problems, my husband wrote a will.
Wow.
And that at that time was rare. And many, many men and women do not do that, because here we have a theory that if you write one, they will kill you. The ones you have given your property. Yeah, they might kill you. So I was very lucky. He actually clearly left a will, mentioned who his wife was and the children, and how his property was to be shared among the four of them. We have four. I have 3 children. I had 3 children. I still have 3 children. How it was to be shared. That was very helpful, because I walk into Pepsi Cola and nobody's questioning my right to be there.
Wow.
Yeah. Nobody is waiting for the in-laws. Nobody is waiting, because this document is very clear. Yes. So to everyone in Uganda who has some property, not even necessarily only business, people fight over a piece of land.
They even fight
over plot.
Families break apart.
Exactly. Because you did not do what you were supposed to do. Is identify who you want to leave your property to. So in that way, I was lucky. Secondly, how else I was lucky, I walked into the business. I told them, okay, I am here. I am ready to work. I was lucky that I knew at least one member of the board very well, the chairman, because he was a sportsman like me. We used to play squash together. So again, networks, friends, family friends are also very important. Because when I walked in, I said, I'm here, I am ready to work. He said, very good. What should we give you? Quickly, they thought, my character, I'm happy, I'm bubbly. They said, you're going to do marketing and public relations. You can communicate. So that was the job I was given. But did I know anything about it? Absolutely.
You're learning from scratch.
zero. So then the good news is teaching is everywhere, even at that time. Now it is even easier for your generation because it's on Google. It's on there. Mr. Google site, just ask him. But also for me, Professor Balunywa at the Department of Commerce in Makerere, MUBS was not there yet. Department of Commerce was running short courses for business people. They knew most of us were running businesses from just feeding. None of us had been trained. All the business people in the country were just going and, okay, let me start a business. How, where, why, they don't know.
Yeah.
So he was doing short courses. I was able to go and
Certificates.
Yeah. The certificate didn't matter for me because I was already running a big business. And so for me, it was the knowledge. So you do about 10 days of entrepreneurship skills, then you know how do you run a business. You do finance for non-finance because finance is very important in business. I did marketing. I did all that at Makerere. Then I went to public relations in MOB, MTAC. So wherever I knew there was something that would help me, I did it. And after that, I understood what the business was about and could contribute because we are a board of 3 people, 3 shareholders, and between us, the others were very experienced. So I was able also to learn from them, learn from the management. Yes, so to the ladies who sit back, and you cannot sit back. You need to get up. Get up.
You need to get up at this time.
Yes.
Well, this is something that you need to learn from Professor's life. I mean, you're a woman, you're seated at home, your husband is working. I mean, can you get to know the people that he's working with? Can you get to make connections? And can you get involved somehow, somewhere? In any way you can, get involved and try and as much as in your power to get to know what your husband does, how he does it, and how can you be of help, much as you have your own passions, much as you have your own career and all those things. Because that is where Professor Maggie Kigozi, for you were very wise enough to let go of your career and then go study these short courses and acquire more knowledge on how to run a business.
Yes.
And then with the family, let's go back to the children. Now he's left you with these beautiful children,
yes,
you know, that had a father figure in their lives. What happens?
Yes, and they were very lucky in that he was a very good father. He had time for them. He educated them. He really cared. So he passed when Navio was nearly 11. He was the youngest. Then my daughter was 5 years older, like 16. She was going to do her O-levels. And the other one was 17. He was actually in the middle doing his A-levels when the father passed. Yeah, it wasn't easy for them. It was really, really difficult. But the children are your main motivation. When you look at your children as, you know, the parent that is left, I won't even say woman or man either. You have the children, they belong to you alone. That is the motivation of saying, I must succeed. I must succeed. As a doctor, we in Uganda, you all know how doctors are paid. Not very much. I could not keep my children the lifestyle they were used to if I stayed in medical practice. That's why I decided, let me go and try my luck at Pepsi-Cola. So I did, and I was able to educate them all very well, and they are all okay, they are working, yeah. So I was happy that I was able to at least give them the kind of education their dad would have given them.
How old are you when your husband passed?
I was 45.
45.
Yeah, so I wasn't that young.
Yeah.
But he was 49 when he passed, yeah.
And of course, no matter what age someone passes on,
Yes.
you still feel the gap, you still feel the emptiness,
Yes.
you still feel like someone is missing in your life.
Completely, yes.
Last time I hosted the last episode of Living It Up, I hosted a widow, and she's back onto the dating scene.
Okay.
She walked her journey faithfully till death do us apart. And right now she's 70 something.
Oh.
Yes. And she's now searching. She needs a partner.
Ooh.
Now, your life as a widow.
Yes.
I can see that smile. Your life as a widow.
Yes.
I know it's very challenging to live a life you're used to a man, and now the man is absent in your life.
Yeah.
What is your take on having another partner? Or did you even ever wish to have another partner in your life?
Yeah, well, it was something I did think about, and I did, I was kind of open to it, but also I was very busy. I made myself very, very busy with my work, and I got even more jobs that were really, really busy. So I would have, I had such a high husband to follow. I don't know who would have been able to fill that particular gap, because he was, he was smart, he was faithful, he was, he earned, he was able to
ambitious.
I tried to one time I went to school and we hadn't talked about school fees. They were still in young primaries. We hadn't, so I pulled out my check. I'm a doctor too, so I also work and I make a salary. Pulled out my checkbook and I paid the fees. He was so offended. He was so offended. He said, in Buganda, me as a Muganda, I educate my kids. You don't just wake up and pay their school fees. He was so offended about that. So that I always remember. Of course, I've had to pay the school fees now for the last, I don't know, 15 years or so. But, he was that type of person. And I don't know. I know we are trying to share with the people to be helpful, but these are difficult things to talk about. Someone like him is married. The other men who are anything like him, I mean, the women are not blind. They pick the best ones.
I know.
So they are married. And the one thing I don't do is interfere if somebody's married. That's so you are married, that's not for me. Yeah. So that was one. So I never actually met someone who was suitable.
But you were open to it.
I guess I was, but I also had big reservations. We used to quarrel even with my husband if he was too strict with my children. He grew up in a family that was more disciplinary, and I grew up in a family more casual and more loving, and you don't beat the children kind of thing. So even with him, if he dared to say anything to my children, I'd be mad. And he the next time he doesn't do it. But so I could imagine now some foreign man, not even the dad, talking to my children, trying to discipline my children. It doesn't work. It didn't work for me. Yeah, so I gave up. I was already 49, as we've said, and I had a lot of work to do. And I was finding I was able to maintain my family. So it wasn't necessary. Now at her age, no.
Okay, so if someone, a very nice gentleman walked in, of course of your age, don't go there. You're already saying no to me. A very outspoken, smart, wealthy, I mean, he's this gentleman of your dreams. Like you see him and you're like, whoa, yes. Your feet.
No.
Would you give them a chance?
No, I don't have dreams anymore. I am fine. I am fine. And, we do tend at this age to be sick. You have a sick man to look after, or he will have a sick me to look after. No, No.
So
Yeah.
now you're tired.
Yeah.
It's time for you to take care of yourself,
Yes.
your grandchildren. Talk
Exactly.
about your grandchildren.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yes, Navio has 4 children.
Mm.
So I have the older 2 that he had before he was married. They are now 12 and 10.
Mm.
They've grown from 0. Actually, they were. I got them when they were babies.
Wow.
Yes. I was lucky to have a very, very good house girl because I was very busy as working at the Uganda Investment Authority, traveling a lot. But I had Annette, who looked after them, had also looked after the dad. So she had been with me for over 30 years. And she was very good. So I was lucky in that way. But she has left now, so there's a gap there. So yes, I have the children. Now it is Zoom. Oh my God. I think any parent knows what I'm talking about when I say, oh my God.
I know.
You put them to sit down, do this, and then the next thing they are off playing, they are running.
Yeah, I understand.
Teacher can't see them, teacher is across. So it's really difficult, the Zoom part. So I hope they'll go back to school soon.
Soon.
Yes. But I've moved to the village as well. They are not able to study from where I am. So they're going to be with their dad.
Okay.
So they'll move back here. I will see them weekends and on and off.
Okay, so you've spoken about Annette. And
Yes.
I picked interests. What's the secret to keeping a housemaid? Because I know so many parents, women, men are struggling with, housemaids. 1 minute she's here, another minute she's gone.
Yes.
You bring in another one, 3 months, 2 months, she's gone. I mean, what's the secret to keeping a housemaid for all those years?
Most importantly, she should become a member of the family. You eat the same food. She's comfortable. She is respected in the way that you want to be respected. I have seen people so harsh with their workers. You can't maintain a worker when all you see is faults and all you see is mistakes, and you don't appreciate when she's done something well. And it was particularly good, I suppose. She could do everything, and she looked after the children so well. So we stayed together for a very long time, and we are still in contact. She went back home, but we are still in contact.
Oh,
yes,
that's good.
Yes.
It's so rare to keep a maid that brings up Senavio and then is able to bring up Navio's children.
Yes.
That's quite a long time.
Yeah, it was. From when Navio was 3, she came. And she brought him up, and then these ones she kept from when they came in, when they were 0 years, both of them, one after the other, until they were about, she left like 4 years ago. They were 8 and something like that. Yeah. So I think it is, first of all, it's you as the one who employs her. Some of course are difficult, but the majority, you treat them well, they will also treat you well.
All right, so we are still with Professor Maggie Kigozi in the house, and she's inspiring us with her personal story, with all the things that she has been through as a person. And she talks about maintaining a maid for a long time, which she has managed to do in her life. And the very important thing that she has mentioned is respect. As much as you need the respect, these maids also need respect. They are human beings. Treat them with kindness, with love. I mean, share the same food. There are so many families that I know, a maid has to sit down, a maid has to eat a different food from what she has prepared for the whole family. And so for us to be able to bring up good children, well-behaved children, and to be able to take away all these things, we need to respect these wonderful people that take care of our children. Well, we are taking a short break, and we'll be right back with Professor Maggie Kigozi, and she's going to be sharing with us a lot more about her life. Short break for now.